On 41 Action News tonight, two mothers make a disgusting discovery when they're feeding their young children.
I pick up the bottle and hold it in the light, and I see worms like inching up.
And we poured it down the drain, and we saw the maggots on it.
Tonight, we uncovered that the baby formula used by both of those moms were from different companies.
Well, 41 Action News reporter Dia Wall went to get answers for both of them. Dia.
Yeah, Mike and Rhiannon, tonight we're talking about two babies whose moms have one story. When they made bottles using powdered formula, they found worms inside.
You guys are not going to believe this. I found worms. Lots of worms.
Helen Williamson says they came from this can of Nutramigen, the formula she uses to feed her infant daughter.
Happened to glance over at the bottle and saw, waves. And I pick up the bottle and hold it in the light, and I see worms like inching up.
She stopped.
It was a brand new bottle. It was sitting in the cupboard, but I still cleaned it out, soap, water.
So she recorded this video as a warning to other moms.
Floating around in there.
But her story isn't unique. Taylor Seiler had a similar experience with Similac.
2 ounces down, I noticed the worms, and I was like, oh, that's great.
She snapped these pictures, now shared more than 43,000 times. Abbott, the company that makes Similac, told us a third-party entomologist looked at the photos and determined, quote, they entered the product after it left our facilities and the safety seal was removed.
I try to explain that if it was something that happened a lot and it was like the person who was making the bottles' fault and it wasn't their fault, to maybe explain that, have a disclaimer, make a post about it.
We reached out to the makers of Nutramigen, but haven't heard back.
And I depend on that company, and then this is what happens. And then I hear that this isn't the first time. It's not right. It really isn't.
And it's keeping these moms up at night.
Like, this is every mom, this is a nightmare. All I could think about, was that stuff in her bottle.
Dr. Stephen Thornton, a toxicologist at the University of Kansas Hospital, said the worms in the photos to him looked very similar to maggots. His advice is to call the company, the health department, then take the formula back to the store unless it's needed for testing. And be sure to check your baby's bottles before you feed them. Dia Wall, 41 Action News.